Hi, Darren Chupp here, co-owner of the Lift Bros. Standing in front of a Skyjack 3219, I wanted to review some of the lower controls on a machine and familiarize yourself with them. First, we have a disconnect switch. This comes directly from our battery, supplies 24 volts to the machine. With that switch off, there is no power being supplied to this machine whatsoever. If you're going to leave your machine for long periods of time, even overnight, it's a good idea to turn it off with the disconnect switch. That way, if there's any shorts in the machine that could potentially drain the batteries, if there's an issue with your machine, you're not dealing with that. When I turn the power on to this machine, now I've supplied 24 volts to the machine. My circuitry will supply 24 volts to the top of my controller where I actuate and I drive the machine. I have an e-stop here. I'm going to pull it out and I have a red light that is illuminated. With this red light illuminated, this tells me I have power to my lower controls here that we're now discussing. The other thing it tells me is the power has successfully running through the top of the machine and everything up there is going to be working because power then flows down here to this red light. So that tells me my circuit is good all the way from my batteries through my upper controls down to my lower control area. So this is a good indicator. Regularly, people can call us and say, hey, my machine's not working. I don't know what's going on. And we'll find from time to time someone has accidentally kicked this switch when they're stepping on the machine or whatever. And so we find this pretty common. So you gotta wanna make sure your e-stops are pulled out, which means power is traveling through them. Now we go to our key switch here. What this switch does is this allows us to raise and lower the machine from down here on the ground. Up, down. So typically you're going to operate the machine from the platform, but there are certain situations where it might be handy for when you're doing service on the machine or other special projects where you might want to raise and lower it from the lower controls. So that's a brief overview of the lower controls on a Skyjack 3219. Remember the Lift Bros if you are in the market for any type of aerial lift. Thank you.